Good afternoon. I'm Tanya Basta, the Dean of the College of Health and Human Services at WKU. First of all, I would like to congratulate all of you for being accepted to WKU. We are delighted you have chosen a major in the College of Health and Human Services, and we certainly hope that you choose to become a Hilltopper in the fall. Our CHHS faculty and staff work tirelessly to ensure that you'll succeed in your academic endeavors, and we invite you to climb higher with us. And with regards to fall semester and these unprecedented times, I'm certain you have many questions about the upcoming year. Rest assured that we have multiple university committees working to prepare scenarios for the safe restart and reopening of the WKU campus. At this time, we still plan to welcome students back to campus this fall, as long as it is safe for students and the larger WKU community. WKU will continue to follow direction from the governor and public health officials that will guide our decision-making for our next academic year. Now, some brief logistics for this webinar. For the first 20 minutes of this call, you'll be introduced to our academic leaders in the college, the program coordinators for each of our programs, and individuals from advising and admissions. All of the WKU faculty and staff will be able to talk while you see a live streaming video. However, participants will not have video or audio access due to the number of individuals in this session. Therefore, we ask that you write your questions in the chat feature, and then your questions will be answered during our question and answer session that will follow the initial introductions. Feel free to write questions while individuals are talking, as they will only be seen by the webinar hosts. And finally, this session is being recorded so that you can watch it later if you'd like. So I thank you all for joining us today for this session, and I do hope that I will be able to see all of your smiling faces on campus this fall. And at this time, I'd now like to introduce our CHHS Associate Dean, Dr. Danita Kelly.
Danita, you're on mute.
Thank you, Dean Basta and Dr. Bennett. Well, hello, students and family members. We are so happy to have you join us this afternoon. The transition from high school to college or from another college to WKU is really an exciting time and can come, we know, with a variety of questions. And our goal is to help you through this journey. And so students, each of you will be assigned an academic advisor who is knowledgeable about your program. And your advisor will help you in selecting your class schedule every semester, and those classes will be selected based on requirements for your major and requirements of our general education program called Colonnade at WKU. Your advisor will also help you in learning about any separate admission requirements for your program that might be separate from admission to WKU. So some of you may be coming into us as a pre-major in a program or seeking admission status, and they have certain requirements, and your advisor knows about these requirements and can help you learn about those and complete any application process. And we have a few programs that limit the number of students admitted each semester or year, and these generally include nursing, dental hygiene, and communication disorders. Many of our programs have student organizations, and we definitely want to encourage you to explore these and other opportunities for involvement, because that will really enhance your experiences as a student and add so much to your time. So as Dean Basta mentioned, we are going to have a question and answer session, and some of our folks who are here today to assist us, if you have not already signed up for a topper orientation session or perhaps applied for housing, we do encourage you to explore those options. And we have an admissions counselor, Chris Storath, who is participating today. And then we also have Lynn Haslett, who leads leads our advising and course registration process for most of our pre-majors in the college. And Lynn, if you have already participated in TOP, you may have interacted with Lynn, and she will be sending you all emails this summer, so we want you to look for communications from Lynn Hazlitt. And now I want to introduce Malia Carver. She is our communications and event specialist for the college. Malia.
All right. Hello, everyone. If I can get my screen to participate. Maybe. Anyway, hello, I'm the communications and event specialist for the college, as mentioned. And part of my role is to share the amazing stories of our students, faculty, and staff through our website and social media. On your screen right now, you'll find social media handles. If you haven't already, I do encourage you to pull out your phones and give us a like or a follow on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. I will mention tomorrow and every Friday is hashtag Future Hilltopper Friday. So be sure to share photos of your admit letter or your poster to celebrate your decision to join the Hilltopper family. And I did want to mention that through these platforms and our website, we share updates, exciting news, and inside looks to our college and programs. And on the screen as well, you'll see our contact information, so phone number and email address. If you have questions after the session is over, don't hesitate to reach out. We'd be happy to support. I will be sending this video out to everyone after this session concludes, and I will be including some contact information for all of those leaders that are on the call as well. So if you have additional questions, I'll be sure to support with that, and you'll be able to ask those. So now, let me take this off, and I'm going to just introduce you to some of the department heads, chairs, and directors within the academic units of our college. So first up, let's see, do we have Travis on the call? Do we see Travis, anybody?
Well, so Mr. Travis Wilson is the department head for Applied Human Sciences, and Applied Human Sciences has 3 distinct majors. They have Family and Consumer Sciences, and we have Dr. Dalee Babb participating with us today. Hi, Dr. Babb. And Family and Consumer Sciences has 3 concentrations that help you focus on education, child studies, or family studies. And then they also have interior design and fashion merchandising. And we have Ms. Sheila Fleener. Hi, Sheila. And she really helps lead students through that program. And then we have hospitality management and dietetics that has several concentrations. And I see we have Dr. Heather Payne Emerson here for nutrition and dietetics. And I believe we also have Julie Lee with us, who assists a lot with both, with all the programs, including the hotel, restaurant, and tourism management.
Wonderful. And sorry about that. Maybe he's getting caught up and trying to get in, but hopefully you'll have an opportunity to connect with him and some of those other leaders within that department. We also have Dr. Richard Dressler from the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders that is here.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. So I am the chair of the Department of Communication Sciences and Disorders, and you can see Big Red is behind me, as well as wings that support all of the different activities that speech-language pathologists conduct when they're out in the field working with people. Our program consists of the undergraduate communication disorders major, the master's degree in speech-language pathology, and the American Sign Language coursework in their program. So I welcome all of those who specifically have selected the communication disorders major, and I look forward to seeing you. And when you're on campus, we'll take your picture in front of Big Red and the wings to remind you of why you're here. So welcome to everyone. The advisor, the coordinator for the undergraduate program is Miss Lisa Hutchinson, who has been at Western for many years. We won't say how many, but she's been there for many, many years, and she has a lot of information. And I think Malia will give you her contact as well as mine. So if you have any questions going forward, you're welcome to contact me or Miss Hutchinson. So thank you very much, and I'll turn it over to the next person.
Thank you, Dr. Dressler. Up next, we have Dr. Ron Ramsing from the School of Kinesiology, Recreation, and Sport.
Thank you, Malia. Good afternoon, and thanks for everybody for being here today. The School of Kinesiology, Recreation, and Sport is comprised of 4 undergraduate programs and several minors as well. So this afternoon, we have Dr. Mark Schaefer, who's the coordinator of the Exercise Science program. We also have Dr. Carrie Esslinger, who is the coordinator of the Physical Education program, and she can address any questions regarding the coaching minor as well. We have Dr. Raymond Poff, somewhere I saw him earlier. Dr. Raymond Poff oversees as the coordinator of the Recreation Administration program, and there are several minors associated with outdoor leadership experience, tourism, nonprofit administration, and the facilities and event management. And lastly, we have our 4th undergraduate program is coordinated by Dr. Paula Upright, and that is the Sport Management program. So we're a School of Kinesiology, Recreation, Sport. Welcomes everybody this afternoon, and please let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ramsing. Up next, we have from the Department of Public Health, Dr. William McConta. Maybe. He might have been unable to join us.
Yes, so for our Department of Public Health, we have, of course, more great programs, and we have Dr. Gregory Ellis Griffith, who's joining us today, Program Coordinator for Healthcare Administration, and we have Dr. Grace Larty, who's our Coordinator for Public Health. Hi, Dr. Larty, and we have Ms. Jan Hunt Shepard with us, who coordinates our Health Information Management Program. Hi, Jan. And then we have Dr. Richie Taylor, who coordinates our Environmental and Occupational Health Sciences program. So they are here if you have questions for them.
Wonderful. Thank you for jumping in, Danita. Up next, we do have Dr. Mary Bennett from the School of Nursing and Allied Health.
All right, from the School of Nursing, we have 2 undergraduate programs, well, 3 actually. There is nursing, which probably most of you who are interested in nursing are going to come into our baccalaureate program, and that will be where you enter as a freshman. The first 2 years are prerequisite courses, meaning courses you take prior to entering the actual nursing program, which starts at the junior year. We also have dental hygiene, and I believe Dr. Jody Evans is on this call also. He is there he is waving at you. He is the program coordinator for dental hygiene. We also have an associate degree program that freshmen often get confused and signed up for. That is only for people who are currently licensed as a licensed practical nurse. So if you're not currently a licensed practical nurse and you want to become a nurse, you do need to sign up for the baccalaureate and science nursing program. So that's a brief explanation. We have Dr. Levin. Dr. Levin, you want to give him a wave there? She is in charge of the baccalaureate program. So if you're having questions specifically about what happens once you get into nursing and where do I go to clinical, things like that, she can answer. But a lot of your questions as freshmen about what class do I sign up for is going to be directed to our wonderful advisors. Lynn Hazlitt-Sherry is in charge of that group, but the group they call ACDC does all the advising for our students in the first 2 years of nursing, which we call pre-nursing. So welcome to Western, and we hope to get you in the right spot. Those pre-nursing advisors will sign you up for the correct courses, and you really won't have to worry about too much. Once they get you in signed up, you will be good to go.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bennett. Up next, or lastly, but certainly not least, I have Dr. Patricia DeRogers from the Department of Social Work.
Hi, you all can call me Dr. D, and I want to welcome you to CHHS and the Department of Social Work. We're very glad you're here. We really look forward to meeting you all in person in the fall as soon as we can. In social work at the undergraduate level, we have a social work major and a minor, and we have a master's in social work as well. But of course, most of you aren't here for that. You're here for the undergraduate level. Dr. Simon Funge is our BSW program director. He is here. I saw him a minute ago, but he's not on my screen right now. I thought I'd give you a fun fact about Dr. Funge. He and his wife Sherry have a pretty wonderful 3-legged cat named Mr. Bump, and you would love him if you met him. He will be here to answer your questions, so will I, and I hope that you all feel free to ask any questions that you are burning to ask. That's all I have.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. DeRosiers, and everyone else that are on the call, and for introducing yourselves. We will get started on the Q&A portion of the meeting. I see lots of you have already started asking questions. That's wonderful. As a reminder, you will have to put those through the chat function in Zoom, and we'll make sure to answer them in the order that we get them.
Well, thank you, Malia, and thank you, everyone. So we do have a few questions, and so one of our first questions, Chris, may be great for you. It's related to students. Perhaps, do they still need to pay their $75 for orientation and report on campus for on the July orientation date?
Yes, hey, so Chris Storath from admissions here. That's a great question. So as of right now, our July and August orientation dates are still scheduled to occur in person, which will be the $75 fee required for those dates. However, if they do end up getting switched to a virtual setting, more than likely $50 of that should get credited back to your account for the fall. But as of right now, it is still the $75 fee for our in-person orientations that are scheduled to occur.
Great, thank you, Chris. So we have another question, and Dean Basta, you and I may end up tag teaming on this one. So a question is, if school begins in the fall and then there's an outbreak of COVID-19 and we move to online learning, and if a student perhaps becomes concerned that the online learning is not the right environment for them, then would they be able to withdraw from classes? And I'll just in general, we always have a method to help assist students in withdrawing from courses, to help support you in your needs as we can. And so, but Dean Basta may have something additional just to in general share about this situation.
So as I mentioned earlier, we have 3 different committees that are looking at all kinds of different scenarios for the fall. We have a facilities group, an academic group, and a student group, all being led by our faculty and staff on campus, and they are running through just about every scenario that we can think of to prepare adequately for the fall. Right now, I wish I had a crystal ball and could tell you that everything was going to be fine and there's not going to be any more COVID-19 in our future, but obviously none of us have the ability to predict what's coming in the future, but we are going to prepare all scenarios. And so when your child is on campus or is able to come on campus, they will only be on campus if it is safe for them to do so. And if we have people are back, and I can tell you, not in a normal, it will not be like last fall. It will certainly be in a revised protocol if it's safe to do so. If it is then at some point not safe to do so, yes, students would then probably have to leave the campus. And so all those different scenarios are being put together right now and will be certainly shared as we have those finalized. So stay tuned. We're going to hope for the best, but we're going to prepare for the worst and be prepared for whatever comes our way.
Great, thank you. And you all may notice if in the chat, but we did have one student inquire about potentially a new TOP date if they want to change that, and you can. So if you're interested in that, then please do so. And a part of a question was related to course availability, and we think we do a great job at the university in helping you register for classes. We can have kind of a system that helps keep certain courses available. So if you're at a later one and that's a concern for you, we hope that is not a concern. Would you like to say anything else about that, Lynn?
No, I'm trying to busy answer some of the questions in the chat as well. As far as the TOPs, if you would like to look at an earlier date, you keep checking the website from the TOP office, so wku.edu/TOP. and looking at those dates and times as far as the options. I'm answering a question now. All incoming students will be peer registered once they choose their TOP date. It'll take us a few days to do follow-up after the fact. They would have received, all students receive a welcome email from us. The email is ace-n-chhs@wku.edu. So check that if you have any questions. And then of course you can always let me know.
So I know we have a question for Dr. Bennett and or Dr. Levin, because Dr. Levin is the coordinator for our Bachelor of Science in Nursing, but it is asking, when do you apply for nursing school? And they know that there are 2 years of prerequisites, and they have already completed 1 year of prerequisites in high school. So you have been busy, and you may not be alone, because we know a lot of students work to take courses, right, that apply for college credits. So Dr. Levin or Dr. Bennett, either one of you.
I can take that. Basically, your pre-nursing advisor will look to see what classes you've completed and what you have left to complete. And when you have enrolled in that last semester of required courses, they will tell you now is the time to apply for nursing, and you also need to sign up to take the HESI entrance exam. So your pre-nursing advisor will be checking to see when you reach that point, and they'll tell you, okay, you're ready to apply now. And so it may not, if you've already got a year of prereqs done, obviously it won't be 2 years. You may be applying rather quickly compared to somebody who hasn't done anything yet. So but your pre-nursing advisor will help you figure that out.
Thank you. And I know we have someone with a question about they mentioned the speech language pathology program. So this may be for, if you're interested in becoming a speech language pathologist, right, our communication disorders program. And the question was not specific, but Ms. Hutchison, you're here. Would you like to just share a little bit that may help address that question? And if it does not, can you please just kind of, not you, Ms. Hutchison, but student or parent, can you please?
I may have missed the specific questions. Several came there at one time. So, but welcome. I'm Lisa Hutchison, and I'm the undergraduate program director in communication disorders and pre-professional program. And so you will apply to the program your second semester of your sophomore year by the February 15th deadline. And you will be advised by our ACDC advisors up until that point. Of course, you always have access to us in the department as well. So I'm sorry I did not see your specific question. So I would be happy to tell you more about it, our program as well.
Well, thank you. So if maybe that answered their question, and if not, we'll look to see if they post it. Yes. And Ms. Hutchison, if you see that, just raise your hand, and we'll pull me to you to help get that adjusted. And Ms. Hazlett-Lynn, I see we have a question in general about maybe assignment of advisors and someone that may have already completed a TOP and is looking for an advisor. So would you care to explain that process of advisor assignment, as many of our participants may be interested?
Yes, actually. After TOP has been completed, so virtual or online, we run a report in the office, and we do academic advisor assignment after completion of the TOP session. And so I spent yesterday, I actually got them all done yesterday. So students can now view their advisor assignment in their TopNet screen. It's usually a process that can take up to a week, just based on numbers and making sure that we catch all of those students, not just the ones who complete TOP live virtually through Zoom, but also online. And so if there's a question, if you just recently completed your TOP, you should now have an advisor assignment available in TopNet for fall 2020 term.
Thank you. And we have a question here about potentially, I think they have completed orientation, and they may be looking to revise their course schedule, and how do they see the schedule for all 4 years. And what we can share is that all of our programs do have what are called sample 4-year plans. And these provide a sample plan for a particular major that is for all 4 years. Now, you may take 1 or 2 courses, right? They may get changed, and so there can be some alterations, but we do have that available, and it is through our WKU catalog, which is online, which can be helpful. Now, the most up-to-date version will for you as coming into our program this fall will be our new catalog, which is not available yet, but the current catalog has that. And our email information is provided, it will be provided at the end here, and we will remind you of that. But if you have that particular question and you want us to email you a sample 4-year plan, we would be happy to do that for you. And for anyone, for any program, please let us know. But as far as wishing to revise your schedule, I'm going to let Lynn Hazlitt take that.
Yes, you can view your current schedule in TopNet under Student Services, Registration, and then Schedule Summary. That's one way to view it. If you're bringing in dual credit classes and a transcript has not been sent in yet, we would not be able to know that ahead of time. Please feel free to reach out to your assigned academic advisor to set up a time to talk to them about trying to make any schedule changes in instances where you may be bringing in those credits already.
Thank you. And I have someone who's asking how the virtual orientation actually works. So Chris, maybe, and we also have a question related to the move-in date and when they will get their housing assignments.
Definitely. So for the virtual online orientations, if you were doing the top live, there's going to be, it's going to occur via Zoom, just like we're on now, but there will be 3 different sessions, or kind of broken up into 3 different parts. The first one being WKU 101, that'll go over residence hall life, student life, campus activities, just kind of your basics of campus. The second part will go over financial aid and accepting scholarships, loans, and anything financial aid related like that. And then our third aspect of the virtual orientation is advising, and that's when you will get to have a breakout session with your individual advisors, as well as a general session going over like our Call and Aid program, which is our general education program, and how to set up your one-on-one meeting with your advisor to discuss your first semester class schedule. And then I think the second part of that was the move-in dates for housing. So if you're planning to do master plan, which is that week-long kind of extended orientation the week before classes start, your move-in date will be August 18th, with master plan officially beginning that Tuesday, the 22nd. If you are not participating in master plan, then your move-in dates are, I believe it's around the 25th or 26th. It's that weekend right after master plan occurs and right before classes start.
Great, thank you, Chris. And we have had a question about social work and do you need a minor? And I know that Dr. Funds, you have addressed that in chat, but I thought you might like a moment to say something, as there could be in other social work majors.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Dr. Kelly. The social work majors don't need a minor or a certificate, but many of our students do. So for instance, one of our more popular minors that our students will add to their degree program would be the minor in clinical and community behavioral health. There's also a family home visiting certificate, which is out of the Department of Applied Human Sciences, that many of our students do. So while it's not required, it is an option for our students.
Thank you so much. And we've had a question about an interest in physical therapy, and is there a pre-physical therapy program that needs to be entered in upon their freshman year? Well, and I'm going to let a couple of our coordinators address this as well, but in general, for application and to a physical therapy program, even such as the one that we have as a Doctor of Physical Therapy program at WKU, you do not need a bachelor's degree in any specific field. So there is no pre-physical therapy major. However, when you select a major at WKU, and then very often if you are interested in physical therapy, they let you add that. They call it a concentration, but it's not quite within a major. But we do have some excellent majors that assist you in preparation for physical therapy, and that one is health sciences in the Department of Public Health, and the other is exercise science in the School of Kinesiology, Recreation, and Sport. Dr. English, would you like to share a little bit about health sciences and preparation for physical therapy? If you can unmute, please.
Unmuted, okay. Yeah, in our preparatory health science program, it's really designed for those entering the allied health professions. We get all of your colonnade work out of the way. It's really the second, third, and fourth years where we sit down and we work with you to identify colleges that you might be interested in pursuing, making sure that the prerequisites they have in those programs are met, and work with you to get you on your way to where you want to be. So it really is a preparatory health program, and we've had fairly good success in moving students through that program.
Thank you. Dr. Schaefer.
Hello. Yes, I appreciate the question. As far as pre-physical therapy goes, exercise science is a pathway to physical therapy, as well as other pre-professional majors as well, such as occupational therapy, athletic training, physician assistant, and so on. It is one of those things where our students will be applying to doctoral programs upon graduation, and some students will be entering the field. I believe I responded to your question with my email. Feel free to email me and I can provide you some more information and answer any questions you might have. So I'll be happy to.
Thank you. Do we have anyone else that sometimes has students move on to physical therapy school from your undergraduate program that would like to address that? I'm thinking even if perhaps in public health, I don't know, Dr. Larty, if you perhaps have students with that interest.
Well, they have to go through the health sciences or exercise science to be able to do that because of the prerequisites.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we have a question here related to master plan, and they have a move-in date of August 18th. Oh, or this, Chris, you've already answered this question, haven't you? Thank you. I'm reading your answer in the chat, so I apologize. So you're doing great. And so we have another question here about being admitted to WKU and CHHS, and if you would like to change your major, can you do so or at orientation? And I will let Ms. Hazlitt, but it's really will be a smoother process if you're able to do that beforehand. Do you have any tips for that, Lynn or Chris?
I can definitely take that one. If you have not completed orientation, you can make any major change requests by emailing admission@wku.edu. However, once you have gone through orientation, any major change requests will need to go through your advisor.
That is correct. So if you're wanting to go ahead and change your major, you can get in contact with us and let us know. And then that's a process we can facilitate, especially if it's not for a major that we advise for for the CHHS advisors and ACDC. We'll want to make sure that we get you connected with the right college.
And I see we have a question about waiting to send dual credit and college transcripts to WKU until you have completed your high school courses. It depends on when your orientation is. It's best if we know what you're in progress with. But definitely you need to know that for when you work with your advisor for scheduling about that, because sometimes if we don't have, even if you're in progress, for instance, say with English 100, we can go ahead and get you placed in English 200, the next level of English. But if we don't have that record, we're unable to go ahead and put you in the next level of English. But in general, as you know, it's great for you to at least know, and maybe you bring copies or can access that when you are working with your advisor. But for the pre-registration process, it is really nice if we know what is in process. But if you don't want to have to kind of request and pay for those transcripts to be sent twice, then we understand. But it helps with things being a little bit more smooth in the process. But we will work with it, and we're happy to do so. And Malia, do you see any questions at this time that I need to pull out, or that you would like to help direct? Oh, we do have a question about, mental health services that we offer on campus, and we do have that. And what is nice is we have a variety of support services on campus, and you all may have heard we do have health services on campus that is run by our Graves Gilbert Clinic. So some of you from this area may be familiar with Graves Gilbert Clinic, and if you're already a patient in their system, they have a site right on campus. And so if you need regular allergy shots or other types of routine care, they can assist with that. Or if you happen to not feel well, then they're very handy to be right on campus. And we do have a wonderful counseling center on campus that offers services. And Lynn, would you like to expand on that a bit? Thank you.
So for services that are offered on campus, through the Advising and Career Development Center, we have something called the Learning Center, which provides tutoring to all students. They have academic tutoring in over 200 core subjects. They also provide tutoring on note-taking skills, test-taking skills, and study habits, because as we think of how we learn and we prepare for subjects, it's much different for me as a student. It was for math and sciences than it was something in social and behavioral sciences. So I kind of had to adapt my learning style. And so they're available. You can, schedule your appointments. They're done face-to-face or online. There's also through the tutoring center, peer assisted study sessions. And those are for courses that are generally harder than the higher DF courses. They have a peer tutor, a peer mentor who actually has taken that course in a previous semester, is taking it again with you, and then they will hold group tutoring sessions as a refresher to go over those notes or to help answer some of those questions. So those are two great resources. They're all located in Downing Student Union on the first and second floors. So it's at the center of campus. Other resources around campus that are available for all students is the Writing Center. So as you're preparing that first paper and you want to have a reference check, a check for grammar and punctuation, you can send it to the Writing Center. They have graduate assistants who actually review that and send feedback and comments. And then there's the Math Center, there's a chemistry lab. So a lot of our departments on campus actually have peer tutors available to you throughout your educational journey.
Great, excellent information. And students, we encourage you to reach out for help. You don't have to wait until, it's not because you think you're failing or you have a D, you might have a C and want a B or want an A, or you just feel like you could get a little more sure footing in a class. And so please reach out early and often for assistance. And we have a question, Dr. Payne Emerson, related to dietetics and some transferring that might have finished a lot of courses. It says only one required class remains. So, but anyway, might they have to retake classes? So do you have, a certain number of classes perhaps that they need to take here at WKU? And we do have some guidelines about certain percentage of classes that do need to be taken in order to earn a degree here from WKU, and that's at least 25% of your courses must be through instruction at WKU. And now the specific dietetic program might have some additional things for their major. Dr. Emerson, Payne Emerson.
Yeah, so as long as as you mentioned, Danita, I think you said the 25% residency requirement is met. As long as that's met, we would just evaluate your transfer courses and look at your syllabi, compare them to our courses, and then we can make substitutions that way. And then other things will just come in possibly as gen ed, but that kind of depends on the course and how it comes into WKU. I think that answered the question. You're muted, Danita.
And we have a question related to interior design, and if there's a minor, a certain minor in business or something that you think might be helpful. So Sheila Fleener.
You're not required to have a minor because it's a comprehensive degree, but if you do want to go for a minor in marketing or sales, we have students in that. We also have students in floristry and event planning. The floristry, the gentleman that runs that program did the flowers for the award ceremony in Los Angeles, so he's pretty cool.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Okay, so related, we have a question for you, Dr. Evans. Does the ACT score affect whether or not a student will be accepted into the dental hygiene program?
When it comes to the ACT score, it is an evaluation component for our rubric that we use. For our rubric, we look at the overall college GPA, which is about 45% of our evaluation. 20% is anatomy and physiology, 20% is microbiology, lecture and lab, 5% is interview, and 10% is the ACT, SAT score. Half of that, or 5 points or 5%, is going to be the overall ACT, SAT score. And then the other component is the reading component. So we look at both of those factors. In order to earn points on the rubric, the higher the grade that you have with the ACT or SAT, the more points you're going to earn on the rubric. So if you have a moderate or a lower score, there's not a minimum that we look at, but the higher score that you have, the more points you earn on the rubric to make you more competitive for the program.
Okay, if I don't know if we have, oh, we do have Dr. Upright. Hi, so what are a few suggestions for a minor to go along with majoring in sport management?
So very similar to some of the others, we do not require a minor. However, we highly recommend one, and we recommend you discuss the area of sport that you're interested in with your advisor when choosing a minor. We have students choose lots of minors from the College of Business, Business Administration, Marketing, Finance, for example. We also have a lot of students stay in the School of KRS and choose minors in Facility and Event Management, Athletic Coaching, Nonprofit Administration. So there's a lot of areas within the field of sport that students may want to enter, and we try to advise each student to choose a minor that might complement that particular interest.
Great, thank you. What components go into being accepted into the communication disorders program, and what will help make someone more competitive?
The undergraduate program requires a minimum GPA of a 3.5, and that's multiplied by your top ACT score to get a GAP score. And the top 35 students with the top 35 GAP scores are the ones that comprise the cohort. We do recommend, there are 3 courses that you may take in the major without being admitted to the major, and we do recommend those courses: Introduction to Communication Disorders, Introduction to Clinical Experience, and the Science of Speech and Hearing. And so those are 3 courses that you may take. And what we generally recommend is that you be sure that you are reaching out to your instructors if you start to struggle in a class, that you're reaching out, that you keep that GPA up, that you work with your advisors in selecting courses, and a lot of times we will go ahead and recommend getting into the going on and taking the statistics course right out of high school, because many individuals have that have just recently taken their maths, and we want them to go on and get in that statistics course, and you can often take that course to meet your math requirements. So that's and there are other recommendations that we would make to you as well, based on your own specific circumstances, and we're happy to talk to you about that.
Okay. Thank you. So here's someone wanting to major in nutrition and dietetics. Can they earn a master's in it to be able to teach nutrition on a college level? And as a piggyback with this one, just as an additional aspect for our person who was wanting to know about transferring in courses, as we mentioned, at least 25% of the courses need to be earned at WKU, and in your major, 1/3 of those courses must come from the major. And not that this is that same individual, but all right, Dr. Payne Emerson, what about a master's?
Yeah, so the master's degree, we do not have a master's in nutrition yet. We are in the works on trying to get a master's and an MBA. We're trying to partner with that, but that's something that's not in place yet. However, what you probably would be interested to know is that the profession is going to require master's degrees by 2023. And so you have to have finished our program, do an internship, take your RD exam, and have that RD exam in place before 2023 in order to sort of not have to have that master's degree. But kind of going forward, that's going to be kind of the standard of the profession, is to have a master's. And hopefully soon we will have some type of master's in place at WKU.
Yes, and as far as teaching, right, at the university, it depends on like from one university to another, but with a master's, and if you're a registered dietitian, then sometimes we do hire folks to teach for us, in particular, maybe part-time, some of our introductory nutrition classes. So it can help add variety to your professional career. And we do have questions about about components and requirements for being admitted into physical therapy. So I know we have a few of you that advise for that regularly. Would you like to help address that, anyone? Would you like to, Dr. Schaefer?
Absolutely. As far as physical therapy, pre-physical therapy, and I'm going to call it pre-professional, because that will also include some of the other interests like occupational therapy, athletic training, and physician assistant. When you're in the program, when you start declaring your interest, you typically would say, I'm exercise science, pre-physical therapy, or pre-occupational therapy. And then that just helps us from an advising standpoint align you with the prerequisites that you'll need to apply for the PT school or the OT or the physician assistant and so on program in a timely manner when you have those prerequisites done and you're in your final semester typically of your undergraduate program. But exercise science faculty are very experienced in keeping students on track in their major and with the pre-professional prerequisites, and the prerequisites in the courses in exercise science align with preparing them for those programs. You can look at, just type exercise science into the Google bar of the WKU website. My name is Mark Schaefer. It's mark.schaefer@wku.edu if you'd like to to give me an email, I'd be happy to send you more information. And I've responded to a few questions in the chat room and gave my email out. But you're more than welcome to look us up and send me an email, and I'll give you all the information you need, and we can talk or Zoom or call on the phone if we have to, if you need any more information.
Thank you. And we've had a couple of questions related to nursing and admission. And is the ACT a part of that, or what are some of the other aspects or requirements for nursing? And we also had someone that was, I guess, probably pleasantly surprised that they might be enrolled in a nursing course for the fall, is probably right for the fall. So if Dr. Levin or Dr. Bennett, if you all would like to answer.
I've seen those questions. At the freshman level, you can take Introduction to Nursing. It is a required course. And we generally ask that students have completed the first English class, and you may have already done this at high school, but the English 100 class is generally required before you take Introduction to Nursing, and that class then helps you figure out, is nursing the right choice for you? And it talks about the different types of nursing that you can do, and it helps students decide whether or not they really want to go forward with the nursing major. As we go into the admission cycle at the junior level, we do look at 3 different things. We look at your overall college GPA, which is your grades in all your college courses, your science course GPA, the courses that we require for nursing students in the sciences are anatomy and physiology 1 and 2, chemistry and microbiology. And then we also look at your entrance exam score, which is a test that you'll take when you apply to the nursing program. And we specifically look at your scores in anatomy and physiology on that exam. We take those scores, we combine them, and they give us an admission score. We rank the students, and we take the top 120 students every semester. And that is basically how you get in. So it's really not based on your ACT score. We really look at more current data. We like to see how you've performed since you entered WKU.
Okay. Thank you. And Dr. Levin, I don't know if you would like to add to that, and if so, maybe also address the guaranteed nursing admission process.
I'd be happy to. Thank you. One of the things that I really encourage you, if you're interested in pursuing nursing at WKU, is to go to the website. If you have trouble finding it, just go to the wku.edu and type in BSN. Once you're there, you should be able to take a virtual tour of our building. But what's really cool about that is that you can actually get to hear from our students who are in the program and get their perception of what it's like to be a student and why they chose WKU. So please take a look at that. Also, all the information about admission is going to be included on that website. So you can take your time and you can read it and digest that information, and then follow up with questions to the site or to the email address that's provided there at the nursing department, and we will answer your questions. We're happy to take those questions. The GNA is Guaranteed Nursing Admission, and that is a special thing that we offer for students who just really want to know they have a seat in the program. And Dr. Bennett mentioned on the chat already that we take 120 students every semester. So you have a really good chance of being accepted into the program if you meet the minimum requirements. So the Guaranteed Nursing Admission means that you're going to come into the program with an ACT score of 23 or above. So you will automatically get a Guaranteed Nursing Admission. You're accepted with an ACT of 23 or above. Then to keep the GNA, you will need to earn a B in all of your nursing courses. Your pre-nursing courses, which we've mentioned earlier, are the Nursing 102, Intro to Professional Nursing, and Pathophysiology. You earn a B or better in those, as well as your science courses, and you keep your spot. So that's what a GNA is.
Thank you. And we have someone who's mentioned that they're going to come and to WKU and be a student athlete. And will they be assigned an advisor that will help them? And the answer is yes, you will get several. And Ms. Hazlitt, would you like to tell them a little bit more about how?
Yes, so for advisor assignments, depending on status, and so you'll always have an academic advisor. This will be the person you see every semester to go through your academic record and come up with your course plan for completion of your degree or applying for your major of choice. If you're part of the Honors College, you will also have an Honors College advisor. And then they will make sure that you stay on track with their Honors College requirements. All student athletes will have an athletic advisor. And then depending on majors and secondary majors and or minors, you may have additional advisors on top of that. So all of those would actually be listed in your TopNet account. It's your academic advisor, your primary academic advisor that you'll have to meet with every semester to have that advising hold lifted, but all of your other advisors are just as important in making sure you maintain any necessary requirements.
Thank you. And we have some questions about the communication disorders and kind of inquiring about how many students apply to the program and how many students that you admit.
So in the undergraduate program, we admit 35 students every year. So we will have 35 juniors through 35 seniors going through the program at any given time. And that varies. The number of applications vary from year to year. We may have 50 applications. We may have more than that. But at the undergraduate level, typically we have between 40 and 50 applications. At the graduate level, it's much higher than that because we have a distance education program in addition to the campus program. So that we have quite a few more applicants for that level.
Thank you. We have a question. Is there anything that interior design students need to do over the summer before classes begin in the fall?
There is not. Just rest up and have fun, and we're excited about seeing you in the fall.
Aren't we all?
Yes. And can't wait to see students again.
And I think we're running low on time, so maybe answering one more question, and then any other questions that were not answered, I'll be sure to send out the contact information for everyone, and we'll get those questions answered at a later time. So maybe Danita, do you want to take one more question?
Sure. We had one question about, can you apply for the guaranteed nursing admission now? And the answer is yes. You've been admitted, as long as you've been admitted to WKU, which you have if you're participating, you can apply. And then the program will notify you then of when they process and of acceptance with that and the other aspects.
So I just want to thank everybody for participating today, and a special shout out to Malia and Dr. Kelly for organizing this session and doing such a fantastic job triaging all the questions. We certainly hope, students, that you choose to become a Hilltopper and that you're going to join us here at WKU in the fall. You will receive a follow-up email from us with the contact information for each of the programs in our college, as well as the link to be able to watch this back, and that way you'll be able to see questions that are answered after this time. So, and of course, can't leave without saying, go Tops! So see you in the fall. Take care. Go Tops.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to all of our panelists, and have a good evening. Bye.